Okay, so not a whole lot going on today other than Russia decided to go to war with Ukraine. So it's a great time to talk about planting your family's vegetables in the backyard. Look, fuel prices are going up, inflation's going up, and I'm telling you, last year we did an experiment back here using no fertilizers, just the dirt booster, and we pulled over 200 pounds of tomatoes out of 4 beds, actually 4 plus 2 over here. Had amazing crop yields, and that's what we're going to talk about today. But you have to start to prep right about now. It's too early to plant, but it's time to do this. So let's go ahead and I'll show you what we did today. Okay, so I don't want you to get confused. First of all the lawn guides are up, so make sure you go get the lawn guides. The lawn guides are out there for cool season, they're for warm season, Bermuda, Zoysia. They all have their own websites and they all have their own guides. We leave them up free. There's no app, there's no email sign up. Just go to the site, scan the QR code, and bookmark it. Walks you through the whole season and tells you all the products, links to all the products. Get it? Next, I don't want you to get confused about this. If you are new to Dirt Booster, if you're new to Biochar, I want you to go over to the Dirt Booster website and watch some of those videos and how we eliminate the need for fertilizers, yet our crop increases are absolutely amazing. We've done this is our 3rd year now with this. We've sent off our soils to Clemson to have them tested. The nutrient levels are off the chart, all because naturally and organically we are breaking down this organic matter and we are adding biochar, and it's just amazing. So if you're new to that aspect of it, go over to Dirt Booster. There's a bunch of videos over there. I have a bunch of videos on the channel about organic gardening and how we make these compost piles. But right now we're not going to be making a compost pile. We're going to actually just be adding something to our soil to get it pre-ready. So one thing you're going to hear me talk a lot about today is you're going to hear me talk a lot about mycorrhizal fungi. And I want you to do something. Promise me you'll do this. In the description below, I always make a page for each video. On that page, I put this video, and I'm also going to embed the 1 minute and 30-second video that will change your life in understanding mycorrhizal fungi. It's 1 minute and 30 seconds, but it'll show you the symbiotic relationship between mycorrhizal fungi and plant roots and plants. It's an amazing video and you immediately understand it. But until you understand that, you can't understand the benefits to your gardens, to your lawns, everything, and why we do what we do. So go down below, watch that video after you watch this one. You don't want to miss this phase. And watch it. It's really important. I have done a whole series on biochar and adding carbon into your soil and the benefits of that. If you're a gardener and you don't understand, or if you haven't heard about biochar, ooh, it's windy. You really need to go understand. Go look at some of my old videos. I'm going to show you something left over, but basically you can take anything that's living. You can take wood, you can take pine cones, you can take chicken feed, you can take dog poo. And if you put it inside of a closed area, deprive it of oxygen, and superheat it at 800 degrees, you will burn off everything that's living and organic, and what it will eventually reduce down to is carbon. And that's how you make biochar. Biochar is created by a superheated, oxygen-deprived environment, no burning. Let me show you. So this was an experiment I did for you guys, and I've got just about everything in here. So here's a pine cone. That's a pine cone. This is a piece of wood. This is chicken feed and a peanut. And then this is, where is it? This is a pine stick. Where is my, somewhere in here I have dog poo. I think this is it. No, that's a peanut. Somewhere in here I have dog poo that I also threw in here, and we made dog poo. So basically anything that's organic or living, if you put it in something like this and superheat it, you will make biochar and take it down to carbon. You can hear it sounds like glass. Hear that? It sounds like glass. So the benefit of biochar acts like a magnet. We use humichar. We take our humichar and we mix it in with the soils. Now Dirt Booster has humichar in it. Biochar absorbs water, it absorbs nutrients, and it gives a home for microbes. So when you put it into the soil, it basically gives it a protection. It won't dry out as fast, even in drought. It's just an amazing factor. If you haven't learned about biochar, you need to learn about it, but it's done through humichar. But humichar is actually inside of the dirt booster. So we have corn distillates inside here along with the humichar, and it comes with a recharge pack. And that's your microbial and good fungus pack. And that's what we use, and that's all we used in these gardens last year. Amazing results for the past 2 years. We tested the soil with Clemson University. Amazing test came back, and that's all we're doing. Zero fertilizers, no fertilizers. And humichar is certified organic, by the way, just so you know that. The dirt booster comes with these little microbial packs on it, and all you do, I've just got plain warm tap water, and these are fungus spores and microbial spores. So I'm just going to put them right in here and I'm going to mix it up. There's also a little bit of molasses mixed in with this, so that's why it turns brown. And then we're just going to pump it and we're just going to spray it. Now there are millions and millions of fungus spores in these packets, and they will sit there in the soil, and these fungus spores really don't start creating fungus just naturally in the soil until they sense roots. Roots send out signals, activate the spores come into the roots, and now you double your root zone. When we make our compost piles, it's different. When we make our compost piles, we fire them up because there's a whole bunch of organic matter in there, and they fire up and it's nice and warm. So it's a little bit different. This time we're just putting it in there so that when the plants start to grow, it's in there naturally. That's it. So a lot of you are going to say, Doc, what are you doing about your weeds in your garden? If you watched my videos last year, this is how we create a multicultural environment. We're actually going to be planting flowers and grasses right along with our actual vegetables. We want multiculture. We want all those different plants growing in here. We don't pull them out. So the first thing we're going to do, step number one, is we're going to take our dirt booster. So if you understand what dirt booster is, you can go research it. This is corn distillates from the alcohol process. So it's the good parts of corn, all clean, all natural. It's amazing. And then the other 50% of this is the humichar, which is humic acid and biochar. So everything your soil needs. So what we're going to do right now is I am basically going to come in here and we'll put 2 big cups. We'll put about 2 big cups on each one. Then I'm going to take my sprayer, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to spray this. Then Ryan's going to take a bag of these were on sale. We just bought some bags of garden soil, and then he'll put the garden soil on top, and then we'll just mix that up and we're done. We're all prepped up for the garden season. We'll probably put 1 bag. Now this soil does have some fertilizer in it, but again, we're not adding much of this. We're just going to mix in 1 bag of this, and you don't have to use this kind of soil. You can use any soil you want. This is just when you can get it on sale. I'm going to add spores. I'm going to add spores to this level. That's it. And then Ryan's going to just start to stir that up a little bit, and then our beds will basically be ready. Now if I wanted to, because I won't be planting in here until April, I may come back in here and throw a little bit of like annual ryegrass on the top, because you want roots. The whole premise of regenerative farming is not to have a whole farm field that's dirt. There's always roots in the ground. If you know Gabe's video, that's one of the things he said. One of the key factors of regenerative farming is always having roots in the ground. So I may get some annual rye and just throw it on top of here.
Earthworms galore.
Yeah, look at that.
There's already like 10 on top.
So this is what we found last year. We found just an amazing amount of earthworms. I mean, huge. If you're a fisherman, you'd be like, holy cow. And that's one of the benefits of having this environment where it's just all full of earthworms in here. It's crazy. I am not doing any final work right now. This is my pre-season prep. The temperatures are starting to get warm up, but I have a chance of a frost. We learned that last year. We had a late frost come in. It was like the first week in April. So we are just prepping these gardens to get the soil ready. It's warm enough that the microbes and the mycorrhizal fungi might actually start to take action. If I wanted to, which I may do, is we may go grab just some of our old grass clippings and just throw a layer of grass clippings over this. Now, if you do that, you're going to hold your heat in there and you'll actually have a very active soil. So this might be a little bit too early for a lot of you guys that are, you know, up north or north of us. We're in Georgia, middle Georgia. But this is about the right time of year. When you start to get warm temperatures move in, but it's still too early because you know you might get a late frost, this is the time you want to do this. So you're going to laugh at me because I don't feel like running to the store to buy some annual ryegrass just for these beds. We've got the seed for the putting green. So I've got and this is more than I'll ever use on the green. So this is some creeping bent. Understand the principle here. The principle is living roots create that living soil. That's why if you see a field that's been tilled and it's all dirt, it's barren. You get away from that. You never have barren dirt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to water this. We're going to put down a little bit of seed, and then we're going to put a little bit of dead grass over it just to protect it from the sun, and we should be good to go. So barely just sprinkle a little bit on here. That's it. This seed is so fine. This is what we use in our greens. This is like talcum powder. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit. The only thing I want you to understand something. The only thing I care about is I don't care what's growing in here. I just want roots. We leave our weeds. We didn't pull a single weed last year. We let all the weeds grow. We want the root systems in there. We plant flowers. We do plant a ton of flowers in here. It's crazy. All the bees are buzzing around. It's a wonderful environment. And that's all I'm doing. So I'm going to seed this and I'll water it, and then we'll cover it with a little bit of dead grass, and it should be good. Both of them. So I'm just going to water all these beds, push the seed down a little bit. That's it. Now some people are going to say, you're going to have bent grass going there all year. Yeah, if you had seen it last year, we had wildflowers. I mean, the weeds were 2 and 3 feet high. If you haven't watched any of Gabe's videos about regenerative farming, basically he goes out into fields of weeds and plants his crops. And that's what we're doing, roots all the time. Follow our lawn guides. You know that we've already done a pre-scalp out here, not a full scalp. And what I'm doing is I'm taking that dead brown Bermuda grass, and all I'm doing is I'm putting just a light, like 1/4 inch layer over the top of this to shade out the sun. Again, we don't mulch our gardens. We actually use the weeds and grasses to protect our soil from the sunshine. But right now, with that seed down, I'm just taking this dead grass, just throwing it in here. That's all I'm doing. A nice light coat of it. So Ryan's whining because he worked out legs today and then he had to come do all this stuff. I'm tired. So he's got all that finished. I'll go show you the finished beds, but I did want to show you something real quick. I don't know if you follow my channel or not, but we treated our poana out here, and I want to show you. It takes, if you're spraying poana, it can take 3 or 4 weeks sometimes. It's slow to kill, but if you look over here, look at that. Now that's a good sign right there. Got a whole bunch of dead poana. We really didn't put a lot of pre-emergent out over here, so I had a big breakout of poana. But let's go look at the gardens. Now, tomorrow, I believe it is, I have a shipment of fertilizer coming in, and I'm going to break apart all the fertilizers, when we use them, and how we use them. Hit subscribe. You don't want to miss that. Maybe I'll wear another pretty hat for you. But here are the gardens all prepped up. So this is what I look like. This is, you know what, February 24th or something. And I'm not going to plant until the first week of April. But this is what I look like. My beds are ready now. They've got biochar, humic acid, they've got the organic matter, and we've mixed them all up. Those weeds that were in there will still be living. A little bit of seed, grass seed in there, and it'll just be perfect. If you watch the videos from last year, we had wildflowers growing this high, and everyone was like, Doc, that's crazy looking. And we just had tons of produce. I mean, incredible. It was absolutely insane. We literally had our tomato plants grow over the stakes out here and actually snap a couple of our stakes. That's how crazy it got. It was just insane. But we had cucumbers, we had squash, we had peas, we had just everything. I'm not sure what I'm going to plant this year. We've been talking about it. We're actually going to plant we're going to space out our plants a little bit more this year. I'm just not sure what I'm going to do. So hit subscribe and get the lawn guides. And I'll see you tomorrow. Doc.